Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Becoming Cleo. Today I want to talk to you all about the 5 things that I wish I knew before getting locks. Now, I've been locked for a year and 3 months, and I've learned a lot about my hair and a lot about my locks on this lock journey. A lot of what I learned has been through trial and error and really just figuring out things as I go. Now, like you, I've watched a ton of YouTube videos and did a ton of research before locking my hair, and I felt like since I have a little bit of skin in the game, that it was only right that I share with you all the 5 things that I wish I knew before starting my lock journey. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I wish that I knew is you have to listen to your hair and give it what it needs. And I'm talking about like the question of if you should wet your starter locks, at what point should you wash your hair, should you use oils in your locks, should you use conditioner. There's a lot of different information out there, but I have found that on my lock journey that it's important to just listen to your hair and give it what it needs. Of course, this is the same thing when you're a loose natural. You have to find what works for your hair. When you're thinking about locking your hair, you may find yourself looking towards your favorite locked person and using the moisturizing routine that they have. I'm not saying that it's not a good moisturizing routine. It just may be that your individual locks don't necessarily love that routine. I think it's good to have a nice starting point for looking at other people and what they do to lock their hair, but it's also just important to figure out what does your hair need and how often does it need it. Listen to your hair because it's going to tell you exactly what it needs and when it needs it. Like I said, this might be an obvious one. Before you go out there and buy all of your favorite products that your favorite lock person is telling you to get, or you think about what's going to work best for your hair, test out these products, go through the trial and error process, and then figure out what's going to work best for you. Your lock journey is a unique experience. What works for one person may not necessarily work for you. So don't necessarily feel discouraged if what you're using in your hair isn't working. Just find something else, make note of how it's working on your hair, and see if it's a product that you should continue using or a product that you should discontinue. The second thing that I wish that I knew is the benefits of starting my own locks versus going to a loctician. I have been doing my loose natural hair since I was 15 years old, but when I was learning and researching about locks, something about the process of retwisting and maintaining your locks intimidated me to the point where I felt that it was important that I actually go to a loctician. Plus, I have a lot of hair, and honestly, I was not trying to be parting all this hair. So long story short, when I first locked my hair, originally on June 19th, and I went to a loctician. Now, 1, I did not enjoy the experience, and 2, I had had those sets of locks in for about 5 months, and within those 5 months, my hair did not lock at all. I didn't have any budding or any bunching. My hair literally just looked like twist. And to me, I was thinking, well, within these 5 months, I should be experiencing some type of bunching, budding, and I just wasn't. And so when I took those locks out, I didn't even have to comb them out after 5 months of having my hair locked. I could just really untwist, like literally just taking out a twist in my hair. At that point, I decided to take all those locks out and then restart my locks in November 2021. Then I've been locked and maintaining my locks since then, and this set of locks here is the set of locks from November 2021. So I thought about which one would be best for me for a very long time, but I ended up originally starting with having someone else do my hair. Both of those are going to have their own pros and cons, so it's really just important to think about what is best for you. Are you someone that likes to do your hair? Do you like to maintain it? Do you like the experience of going to a salon, talking with other people at the salon and being taken care of and having your hair done for you? I want to note that if you are like me and you're watching a lot of videos and you want to start your own locks but you don't feel confident in starting them or maintaining them, I want to encourage you that if you really feel that it's in your heart to start your own locks, I encourage you to start them yourself. It may take trial and error, and it may take a lot of research, a lot of YouTube videos, whatever the sources that you're looking at. It may take you some time to figure out how to maintain your locks and to figure out what works best for you. But over time, within this lock journey, especially when you do it over and over again, you'll eventually get used to it, and then your confidence will grow in your ability to maintain your locks. Third thing that I wish that I knew is that your hair is going to do its thing when it wants to do it, how it wants to do it. One of the things for me that I really battled with, that you also may be battling with, is kind of go in this comparison hole where you compare your hair to someone else's hair, or you compare your journey to someone else's journey. If you're someone that's like me, who I looked at a lot of YouTube videos about people's locks and their journey, I looked at a lot of Instagram pages, and when I first started my locks, I was literally checking so often, like, is it budding, is it bunching? Like, I would check to see what my hair was doing, and then saying, okay, well, if their hair was budding at 6 months, then mine should be budding at 6 months. And the truth is that your hair is really just going to do its thing when it wants to do it. So I say all that to say that locking your hair can also require a lot of patience as your hair does its thing. It's easy to get caught up in someone else's journey and how someone else's locks look, and then using those photos as like reference photos, or expecting your locks to come out how their locks may look. Hair is really going to do what it's going to do. And even as it comes down to someone having, let's say, like 110 locks, and you put 110 locks in your hair, thinking that you're going to have the exact same type of lock in your hair because you have the same amount of locks, there are just a lot of different factors that come into play with the count of locks that you have, the texture, the density. So even though you and someone else may have the exact same amount of locks, your locks could still be thicker, or your locks could still be thinner than that person, because your hair is its own unique individual, and it's going to form and bud and bunch when it's supposed to, how it's going to do it, and when it's going to do it. So, but I guarantee you that with patience and allowing your hair to do its thing, and trusting that it's going to do its thing, it will do its thing. Your locks will flourish, they will bud, they will bunch, they will expand, they will drop, all when they are supposed to. You just have to be patient, because sometimes it takes people longer, other times yours may be sooner. So you really just have to have patience with this journey. Trust the process. Fourth thing that I wish that I knew before locking my hair is that I have to surrender to the process and release all expectations. So this is a really good follow-up from what I just said. So when you have locks, you really have to relinquish the control that you have on how your hair might turn out, when your hair is going to start to bud and bunch, what your hair is going to look like. Starting your locks and going through the process is really going to challenge you, especially if you're someone that likes control. So if you're someone that's like, okay, I know if I have this amount of locks in my hair, they're going to be this thick, and they're going to start budding and bunching at this time. Your timeline may not be exactly aligned with the timeline that your hair has for itself. Like I said, your hair and your hair experience is a very unique individual, and going through this process, you're going to have to just let it go and let it flow. Your expectation of when it should bunch, when it should drop, you're going to have to let that go and surrender to the process, and just trust that your locks are going to look and be exactly how they're meant to be. Your hair is going to do its thing. Just let it go and let it flow. This is easier said than done. It's just natural to be curious about these things. Also really important not to obsess over the details of your hair. Because once I was able to relinquish control, just let go and let it flow, my locks started doing their thing. They're looking like locks, they started bunching, they started budding, and I was able to have a lot more fun with this journey. I was actually able to lay back and enjoy the process of watching my hair evolve and change every single month. Here's something that I recommend. If you're someone who feels like you're looking at your locks and maybe things aren't changing as fast as you want them to change, document your lock journey. This doesn't have to be this public display of you documenting your hair or showing your hair. You can have a private page, you can keep the photos in your camera roll, whatever documenting looks like to you. I highly recommend that if you're someone who is struggling with releasing control of this journey, to document the process. Just document it month by month, because sometimes when you think things aren't changing, when you look back at the previous photos, even if it's the slightest of difference, you'll be able to see it if you're in how far your hair has come. You'll be able to tell when you look at a before and after photo. Documenting it and watching your hair grow and evolve each step of the way is really going to help you to know that, one, your hair is changing right before your eyes, but two, it's also going to make you feel more confident that your hair is doing its thing. The very first thing that I wish I knew was that locks were going to boost my confidence. So I love having locks. I think they suit me. And I think I look very good with locks. And I loved being a loose natural for all the years that I was a loose natural, but I just feel a different type of confidence that I have with locks. To me, was a similar experience to when I cut my hair in 2019, and for the first time I felt like I could actually see myself for me. That's a similar feeling and experience that I had with getting my locks. I felt like I was actually able to appreciate my beauty. To me, I would attribute this to going through the lock journey, going through the process and watching myself at the different stages. I feel like each time I looked back at my locks and how I looked then, that I was only evolving, becoming confident through every single stage of my locks. I feel like on this lock journey allowed my hair to go through its own metamorphosis, but two, I also feel like I went on this spiritual journey with my locks. Every step that my locks took, I also took a step with them. So locking my hair gave me confidence, and I think going through the process also gave me confidence, not only about my physical beauty, but also about my internal beauty, because it's having to release the control and just let things be. It allowed me to develop my confidence and to trust the process and to trust that my hair was going to do its thing. And then also, I'm able to maintain my locks, which has given me confidence in my ability and has also given me confidence in my locks. So those are the 5 things that I wish that I knew before locking my hair. If you're thinking about locking your hair and you're not sure where to start and you have a ton of questions and you just want to know more about the lock journey and the lock process, feel free to leave your comments below. I can also make another video for any questions that you may have, but I really just hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that it inspires you and encourages you to lock your hair and do it in the way that you think feels best to you. I also just want to say thank y'all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next video.